The most interesting Mahadasha in the Vimshottari Mahadasha is that of Mercury. Today we will be discussing about the Mercury Mahadasha. Hello friends, my name is Hardik and you're watching my YouTube channel on Vedic Astrology, Astro. So let's start. Now, before I discuss with you about this Mercury Mahadasha, I have a request. Please subscribe to my channel if you're watching my video, and please share it if you like my video. Your subscription will cost you nothing, and if you subscribe to my channel, I will only get encouragement to make more such videos. Now let's start with the Mercury Mahadasha. Before that, what exactly is Mercury? Now, Mercury is a natural benefic planet, and Mercury represents multiple things, multiple aspects of life. Now, Mercury represents your analytical skills, your skills related to logic and reasoning, right? So, if Mercury is strong in your chart, you will be a person with a lot of logic. Mercury is also about communication. Right? Mercury is about computers. Mercury is about business. Mercury is about finance. Mercury is money matters. Mercury is about trade, commerce. Mercury is your intelligence. Mercury is your nervous system. So Mercury represents a lot of things. So that is what Mercury is. Now Mercury, as I said at the beginning of the video, is the most interesting Mahadasha because Mercury is a planet which behaves as a benefic if it is with the benefic planets, and if it behaves as a malefic planet if it is with malefic planets, or if it is with cruel planets. So when you look into Mercury Mahadasha, you need to see where exactly it is placed, which planets are afflicting them, which planets are with Mercury, what is the dispositor of Mercury doing. All those things are important to analyze the Mercury Mahadasha. Now, Mercury Mahadasha can give extremely good results if it is well placed and if it is a strong, natural, functional benefic in your chart. At the same time, it will create difficulties in your life. It will create serious difficulties in your life if it is severely afflicted and is a functional malefic in your chart. Now let's look into both the aspect of Mercury here. Now let's consider if Mercury is a benefic planet, and if Mercury is well placed in your chart, then what will Mercury Mahadasha do for you or do for that particular native? Now first thing, and this is all generic information, because if I start talking about every science or every if I look into every conjunction and try and figure out how this dasha will be, that will take me multiple videos, right? And that's not practically possible. So if you have any queries, do mention in the comment box below about Mercury Mahadasha, and if you want to know anything about it, and whenever I get time, I'll try and answer your questions to the best of my abilities. So let's look at the good part first. Now, if Mercury is well placed in your chart, now the first thing that can happen to such a native is that he will have excellent communication skills, and a communication skills with lot of logic. So in that Mahadasha period of Mercury, which is a long 17 years, right? So you will have great communication skills. Now one thing you need to know when you're looking into a Mercury Mahadasha is that because it's a 17-year time period, and if it is well placed in your chart, then you'll always prefer that dasha to come in your early 20s or at least in your early 30s, so that the peak of your career you can have this dasha, right? 20, if it comes around 22, it will be there till 39. If it comes around 32, 33, it will be there till 50. So that's a pretty long period, right? And these are the two areas, your 20s, 30s and 40s are predominantly your peak time. That's the time when you grow in your life. And because Mercury is a logical planet, is about finance, is about money, and it is well placed, it will be great if it happens in your 20s, 30s and 40s, right? Even 50s, I mean, if it ends in 50s, even that, so you're starting somewhere in the late 30s, that's also fine. Now what happens with this dasha, the second thing other than the communication skills, you have a great communication skills, you can be a great orator, you can be a great writer. The second thing that can happen is that you will have a brilliant thinking, logical, reasoning mind. So you will do very well when you have a logical mind and you have great communication. So what will happen is that when you're communicating, you will make a lot of sense. You will talk something which other people can relate to what you are saying or what you are stating, right? So that will be very, very interesting. Now, if it happens in your early 20s or late teens and you are starting your career, you will see that your higher education, your career will go the path of either finance, which is about MBAs, business, CFAs, chartered accountants and things like that, or you will go into the trade and commerce lines, or you will go into analytics, research, computers, the technology, the data scientists, the analysts, the business consultant. You will go into that line, right? So these are the things which you can look into if Mercury Mahadasha starts somewhere in your late teens or early 20s, right? So you will see that you will go in that path. You will do considerably well in the Mercury Mahadasha, and you will grow as those guys who will be very, very good in those field, right? A brilliant data scientist or a great investment banker, or for that matter a great guy who's into a export import business and something like that, right? So you will do well there. Now the third is, and one thing which Mercury also relates, is that Mercury is about humor, right? Mercury is about entertainment. So you will do well. You will be a person who will be humorous. You will be a person who will be charming, who will be interesting to talk to, because you will have that slice of humor when you start interacting with people. So that is another good aspect of this Mahadasha. Now the next thing that can happen in your Mercury Mahadasha, and if it is well placed, is that you will be very, very intelligent, right? You will be and intelligence bring confidence in you. So if you are intelligent, difficult situation comes in, you can really look into your intelligence and come out of it, right? Try and fight the difficult situation with your intellect. So that is a very good thing about Mercury Mahadasha, if Mercury is well placed in your chart. Now this is about the good aspect of Mercury. Now what are the not so good aspect? What are the difficult aspect of Mercury if Mercury is not well placed in your chart and Mercury is afflicted, right? Now the first thing that can happen is that your nervous system may get affected, which means that you will be fearful, you'll have anxiety issue, you'll have nervous system disorders. So you need to be careful of that. And if you know that you have a Mercury Mahadasha, say after 1 year or 2 years, you should take care of and if generally you are a person who is fearful, or generally who's a person who gets anxious of small things, you have to take care of that. Take help of doctors or counselors or people around you, and prepare yourself so that you can face that Mahadasha more confidently. Now if that is again afflicted, then don't really play a lot with your finance, because then it'll go all haywire, right? Because Mercury rules finance, but Mercury is afflicted and Mercury is malefic in your chart. So if you go through a Mercury Mahadasha, then don't take too much of risks. Don't invest in a lot of stocks and all those things, right? In the stock market, buying future options and indices and all those things. So stay away from things like that. Invest properly, invest carefully. Even if it gives you lesser returns, don't waste your money, or don't take too much of risk, right? It's better to, I'm not a finance expert, but I think it's better to invest than in mutual fund, in liquid funds and things like that, right? So or FD for that matter. If you do that, then at least you'll get that safe return and you're not playing around with that. Now the third thing is that your intelligence may get afflicted, your logical thinking may get afflicted. You may start to talk things which are not logical, and people may not really like you for that, because you may be thinking, because Mercury represents logic and you are going through Mercury Mahadasha, you may be thinking that you are talking logic, but to the other person it is not making any sense, right? So you will come across those situations. So speak less, speak with a lot of preparation, think before you speak, and try and improve your intelligence, right? If you do that, then there is a possibility that you will be able to do reasonably well even if Mercury is afflicted. And look for those antardashas, right? If Mercury is functional malefic, doesn't mean every antardasha lord will be functional malefic for you. Some of them will be functional benefic for you. In work on those time period, right? Of course, Mahadasha will always play a bigger role than antardasha, but take advantage of antardasha, because antardasha lord also has a role to play. And you can watch my video on dashas and transit, where I've clearly mentioned how much importance should you give to Mahadasha, and how much importance should you give to antardasha, and how much importance you should give to transits. So this is a very, very interesting Mahadasha of Mercury. It can be extremely good or it can be very difficult. Now look at your chart, analyze your chart, see where it is placed, and as I say you, even if it is a benefic planet, natural benefic planet, and it is a functional benefic planet too, it can give difficult results if it is afflicted in your chart, right? So you need to look into that. Even if it is a functional malefic and it is supported by good planets, you will not see lot of malefic effects of Mercury. Then you will see some good effects of Mercury in that case. So you need to study your Mercury, study that particular position of Mercury, study things surrounding Mercury, and then try to come to a conclusion whether Mercury is benefic or Mercury is malefic for you. Thank you for watching my video. Please share the video if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel. Take care and bye-bye.